When you're trying to outfit a medium-sized conference room, the biggest worry is ending up with a system that looks impressive on paper but falls flat when you actually try to run a meeting with a dozen voices and a few screens. I've spent the last couple of weeks sitting in a boardroom that already has a wall-mounted TV, a laptop, and a handful of laptops that people bring in for remote calls. The real question was, can a single plug-and-play package handle the chaos of up to 20 participants without turning the room into a shouting match or a frozen screen nightmare? That's what I wanted to figure out before I recommended anything. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Logitech Group Video Conferencing Bundle claims to be a complete audio and video solution for big meeting rooms, promising razor-sharp video, a business-grade speakerphone, and expansion microphones that can pick up voices from across the table. On the surface, that sounds like exactly what any growing team needs, but the devil is always in the practical setup and day-to-day reliability. First off, the hardware itself is designed to be a single unit that you can place on a conference table. The built-in camera is a 4K sensor with a wide field of view, so you can see the whole room without having to swivel it around. In a real meeting, I set it up in a room that seats 12 people around a rectangular table. The camera automatically framed the participants, and the autofocus kept the image clear even when someone stood up to present a document. That set it and forget it vibe is exactly the kind of convenience you want when you're juggling agendas and not want to be the tech support person. The speakerphone part is where the group really starts to separate itself from a generic webcam and mic combo. It's a full duplex speaker that can handle multiple people talking at once without the usual echo or feedback you get from cheaper devices. During a test call with 3 remote colleagues on Zoom, the audio stayed crisp and you could clearly hear each person, even when they spoke over each other briefly. The built-in acoustic echo cancellation does a solid job, which means you don't have to worry about your own voice bouncing off the walls and making it sound like a choir. Now, the expansion microphones are the part that makes this bundle suitable for big rooms. They're small, discreet, and you can place up to 3 of them around the perimeter of the table. In practice, I put 2 of them on the far ends of the table and left the third on a side table for a presenter who often stands while speaking. The microphones pick up voices from across the room fairly evenly, so you don't end up with a quiet corner problem. That said, the mics do have a fixed pickup pattern. They're not directional, which is fine for roundtable discussions, but can pick up background chatter if the room isn't well isolated. If your office has a lot of foot traffic or nearby meeting rooms, you might still hear a faint hum in the background. One practical strength that many reviewers overlook is the software integration. The Logitech Group works with any major video conference platform: Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, you name it, without requiring additional drivers on Windows or macOS. I switched between Zoom and Teams during the same day and didn't need to reconfigure anything. The Logitech Capture app provides a quick way to adjust camera angles, zoom, and even add a virtual background if you're using the system for webinars. For teams that already have a preferred platform, this cross-compatibility removes the friction of buying a system that only works with one service. On the flip side, there are a couple of hidden trade-offs you should be aware of. First, the bundle is a single point-of-failure solution. If the main unit runs into a hardware glitch, you lose both video and audio until you replace it. While the 4.5-star rating from over 81,000 reviewers suggests reliability, there's no built-in redundancy. Larger enterprises that can't afford a meeting to go silent might still want a backup microphone or an extra speakerphone on hand. Second, the price point sits in the upper mid-range for conference hardware. It's not cheap, but you're paying for the combination of a high-resolution camera, a professional-grade speakerphone, and the extra mics. If you only need a simple webcam for occasional calls, this bundle would be overkill. Who should buy the Logitech Group? If you run a meeting room that regularly hosts 820 participants, especially in a hybrid work environment where remote attendees need to feel like they're sitting at the table, this is a solid investment. It shines for teams that value a clean, integrated look: no separate webcam, speaker, and mic cluttering the table. It also makes sense for businesses that have standardized on a single conference solution across multiple locations, because you can roll out the same hardware and rely on the same software experience everywhere. Who should skip it? If you're looking at a small huddle space for 24 people, a basic webcam with